of my favorite things to talk about is how to fix high pH soil. Darren and I live in farm in South Dakota, and when you go north of where we're at, so much of South Dakota, a lot of North Dakota, a lot of Minnesota, we're dealing with high pH soils. And over the years we have heard a lot of, oh, there's nothing I can do with my high pH soil. You absolutely can fix that if you want to. We'll talk a little about what we've done in our operation and what we've helped other farmers with as well to get that pH down.
Obviously, when we talk about fixing a high pH soil and you say, well, man, I'm going to invest some money into that ground. I'm already getting good yields. Why would I do that? Well, take a look at what you're getting for yields. Do you think you could possibly do any better? I talked to a farmer that had 200 bushel corn and 60 bushel soybeans in North Dakota, and he said, I don't have any problem at all. I'm getting the highest yields around me. And I said, well, how high do you think your yields could be if your pH wasn't hurting you? And he's like, well, how exactly is my pH hurting me? When we look at our soils and we see pHs that get even above 7, all of a sudden our micronutrient availability starts going down, our phosphorus availability goes down, our calcium availability goes down. And we start having issues getting those nutrients in sufficient quantities into our plants. And when our plants are in a high demand period, this problem really becomes exaggerated. They need those nutrients quick and they just can't get them.
Now, as Darren says all this, let's keep in mind, different crops can tolerate different soil pHs. So on the high side of things, barley can do fairly well. Alfalfa actually likes a pH right around 7. There are a lot of crops that can survive that. Sugar beets I can think of. So on the flip side, blueberries, for example, they like a pH down around 5 or 5.5, something like that. So it depends a little bit on which crop you're raising and which soils that particular crop likes. But let's put it this way. For corn, soybeans, and wheat, the three major acreage crops in the United States, those crops like pH of around 6.3 to 6.8. So that's kind of what we're shooting for. So if you want to drop your pH, you first have to ask yourself, why did my pH get high in the first place? Now, could it be that it's poor drainage? That's what we see very commonly. When drainage is poor, you usually have a buildup of salts over time, and eventually your pH goes up. Okay, so you can fix that drainage problem. You also may have something like soil erosion, where literally all your topsoil is gone, and now you're farming the subsoil. And your subsoil may have started with a whole bunch of calcium or lime in it, and the pH was a little bit elevated. So there are a number of reasons why your pH could be high, but the first thing that we always talk about is let's make sure we have good drainage, because what we want to do is flush things out of that soil. For example, magnesium can raise soil pH roughly 1.6 to 1 compared to calcium. Sodium can raise pH roughly 4 to 1 compared to calcium. So I want to flush out the salts, I want to flush out the sodium, I want to flush out the magnesium if those things are in excess, and I can't do that if I have poor drainage.
You know, one thing too I'd say, Brian, is fixing that drainage is not this silver bullet that all of a sudden tomorrow your pH is going to drop from 8 to 6.5. That's not going to happen. It's going to be a slow process that's going to happen over time, but it's going to enable that process to happen. The next thing you're going to have to do is make some changes to your soil program. One might be elemental sulfur. At the Ag PhD Field Day, once again this year, we were doing some work with elemental sulfur on well-drained soils to try to move pH down. Now, in the case at the field day, we didn't have a pH over 8, but we did have a pH in the low to mid 7s that we were able to bring down in one season all the way down into the 5s with enough elemental sulfur. Now, we didn't want the pH all the way down to the 5s, but we did some experiments just to show, hey, let's put on enough and see if we can move it down. That way we can dial in what our rate really needs to be. And like all these things that we talk about here, you can say, well, I'm not going to turn my whole 2,000 acre farm to this program immediately. That's fine. Try one field. See what a difference it can make. Improve the drainage in one field. Try some elemental sulfur if that's the right recipe that you and your agronomist work out for you, that, hey, this will help solve my problem. Try it in one field, see what happens over a couple of years. And when you learn lessons that can be applied to the rest of the farm, you're going to make more money.
All right, so you have to ask yourself, again, why is this pH bad? But nevertheless, you want to make sure you have good drainage out there. So that means tile. That means getting your calcium levels up above 65% on the base saturation number, maybe even above 70%. You've got to have good calcium so you have better soil porosity. The elemental sulfur, one of the things that can do is the sulfur can bind together with magnesium. It can bind together with sodium. Then it's going to form salts, and those salts are leachable. Salts can leach through that soil with normal rainfall, again, as long as you have good drainage. So that's part of the reason the pH goes down. But yes, you want to have elemental sulfur out there, not gypsum, but elemental sulfur, because what happens is when that conversion occurs from sulfur over to sulfate, you're going to have sulfuric acid produced, and that sulfuric acid obviously is going to lower that pH. So a lot of people will ask, is elemental sulfur going to fix my soil pH for the long term? It will if you've taken care of the other problems. So if you've got your magnesium down, your sodium down, your salts are down, then yeah, it's very likely that that elemental sulfur can cure your pH once and for all. And when that high pH is gone, so goes your iron deficiency chlorosis issues. So goes a lot of your micronutrient issues and your tie-up with phosphorus and some of those other nutrients. So getting the pH down can be a really good thing for your farm.
And the big thing is when you look online, if you see one experiment with elemental sulfur or one experiment with drainage, well, that one thing isn't going to solve it. It's a combination approach, as we discussed today. One other problem that requires a combination approach is our weed of the week. We'll show you how to stop it coming up next.